Hi, Bryson. I ran into Ava Bresnahan, who was a part of the group of drive, chip, and putt kids you played with for a YouTube video in Texas again.
Yeah, what Augusta National's doing for the game of golf in general is really not been seen quite ever. With ANWA, with DCP, with the Latin American Amateur Championship, with Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, I mean, they're really growing the game globally, and I have a great respect for that. And whether it's on my YouTube channel or inspiring kids in a major championship, I see that as being my role and my responsibility is to grow the game in that capacity. So we collaborated with the DCP and did a great video earlier this year. And it was at Frisco Farms, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, and they beat me. The DCP players beat me, so I was a little rusty, but not playing my best. But it was fun to see Ava again. She made a 20-footer in my YouTube video on the first hole, and I'm like, this girl can putt. Wow, it's really impressive. And then come to find out, she did all right, did pretty well in putting, but struggled in other areas, but it was a lot of fun to come back and see her and get to do a putting competition and hopefully give her a little bit of advice about the game of golf and life. I mean, that's ultimately what I feel like my responsibility is now to do is inspire these kids to not only understand how cool golf can be, but what life can offer if you have the right perspective on it. Because I certainly haven't had that in times past, and that's something I've learned, and hopefully those individuals, those kids can learn from my mistakes. And that's what I hope to do. And just seeing Ava out here and us doing a little putt off and giving her a couple pieces of information, and she got really nervous and quick. And so just saying, hey, look, settle down. It's all good. Go through your process. Go through routine. And then if you make her miss it, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't define you. So giving her those pieces of advice and really seeing what the DCP is doing for the game of golf and what Augusta National is doing for the game of golf just gives me so much respect and so much gratitude for where the game of golf is going. Even with ANWA, being here for ANWA and unfortunately watching Asterix do what she did, I was, unfortunately in that same sort of position last year, and I was able to give her a little bit of perspective on that, and she's going to be a star. I've seen her grow up back when I was at my old practice facility, watching her hit golf balls. I was like, she's going to be a star, and she came out here and almost won, and she's going to win plenty more other events. So just seeing what they're doing and how they're inspiring the next generation of golfers is something that I want to help be a part of.
And going back to your conversation on Saturday with Asterix, could you share a little bit about?
Yeah, I mean, again, knowing her and seeing her practice around me quite a bit when she was younger, I felt like it was a great opportunity to come out and support her, knowing where she was and that she was playing very well. And also, if she won, there to support her. If she lost, there to help her. I felt like it was an opportunity I could show her a different side of golf. Sometimes, you win, sometimes you lose, and the losses can be really difficult, but it's not what defines you. And so that was the message that I gave her. It was like, this is not going to define you. If anything, this is going to almost give you an opportunity to show who you truly are. And it's more important to show who you truly are in the losses than the wins. And if you have the ability to inspire kids around you, I essentially said, look at all the people out there waiting for you to sign those autographs. If you can go out there and sign those autographs, that's much more impactful than even, winning the tournament sometimes. And I know that from experience. Albeit it's great to win, and we all want to win. There's more to the game, and don't let this define you, because you're going to have an unbelievable career. This is the start of something special. So, those were the words I gave her, and there was more that I said that I won't talk about, but that was the gist of it, and I felt it was the right time to do it. And again, it's not like I was focused on just helping her out. I didn't want anything from it other than to help her out.
Going back to, you talked about playing with Jackson today, and then also your conversations with Asterix. With how busy your schedule has become and all the different things you're doing outside of golf, why have you remained or left the amateur game such an important part of your career?
Well, because Bobby Jones was an amateur his whole entire career, and that's how this place was founded, with Mr. Roberts and Mr. Jones. I think that there's an inherent love and respect for where we began. Being a U.S. amateur champion, NCAA champion, I'm not here without the amateur game. And I think it's so important to keep that as not only an important pathway, but an opportunity for others to experience and play this great game at somewhat of a close level to us professionals. And it's a segue, it's a pathway to the professional side. And so if we don't focus on that, if we forget our history, if we forget where we've come from, our future is not too bright. And so for me, it's a no-brainer. It's a responsibility to give back as much as I can to the amateur game, whether it's on the men's side, women's side, or just junior golf. I'll never forget being at Riverbend Golf Club. It's now called Dragonfly. Having a chance to hit in front of, I think it was 30 some odd professionals at the Save Mart Shootout at a clinic in front of Peter Jacobson and Sign Boy. And I hit 3 drives and I striped them, hit them all right next to each other. And most of the tour pros came up to me, signed my hat, and said, "We'll see you on tour one day." And that left a massive impact on me, not only as a junior golfer, but as it permeated to the U.S. Amateur NCAAs, and wanting to give back to kids at those moments, and then realizing now my place in the game and saying, okay, this is now my responsibility to give back. So why do I feel that? It's because of everything that's led up to this point and everything I've experienced, really.